Do you need some deep relaxation in your life? Hello, friend. Welcome back to the Finding Freedom podcast, where we talk about how to feel more calm, connected, heart-centered, grateful, abundant, and empowered so you can find true freedom and create the life you were meant to be living. Today on the podcast, we have a stop and breathe session. So today we are doing the breath practice, very well-known breath practice called the 4-7-8. Today's session is pre-recorded and there is a video that accompanies it. So I will upload the video. So if you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can watch the video there. So I'll go into a lot of the details about the 4-7-8 in the recording. But I think what is so overlooked sometimes is the breath hold. So the 4-7-8 is breathing in for 4, holding for 7, breathing out for 8. The focus largely is on the exhale because the exhale is what really sinks us deep into that relaxation. But I want to just bring to your attention the pause, because the pause is just the most beautiful thing. Anytime you're doing breath holds in any practice, and if you come and work with me, I do breath holds a fair bit in my breathwork practices. Sometimes I'll just chuck them in at the last minute, or sometimes I'll actually have a plan to include them. But the breath holds are magical. They're a magical space to be in, especially when you get to that place of surrender, that place of just letting go and being in that present moment, which also allows you to be really calm. And when you're really calm, I'm thinking about this time when I went snorkeling for the first time. The first time I went snorkeling was not a great experience because I experienced a lot of stress. I thought I was going to drown at one point. I was in Vietnam and the water was a little rough and I just panicked. And as soon as I panicked, all of my knowledge about swimming just went out the door. I don't know where it went, but it was gone. And all of a sudden I got myself back to the boat and I composed myself for a moment, and then I was like, I need to put on a life jacket. I don't trust myself. I'm going to drown. Fast forward to probably 10 years later, where I'd done a lot of meditation, some breath work, not a lot at that stage, actually. It was mostly meditation. I was in Thailand with a friend. Shout out to Hannah if you're listening. Beautiful, beautiful trip we had to Thailand. And when I was snorkeling during this particular occasion, and I had thought about that time in Vietnam where I got so stressed and I got so freaked out that I couldn't swim. And I was like, I don't want that to be my reality this time. I want to be calm. And so what I did was I calmed myself down. I was also a much calmer person in my life at that point. I could cope. I had a much bigger bandwidth. I could cope with a lot more. But when I got in that water, I noticed how for a moment I had this, oh my God, feeling like, can I actually do this? And then I put my head in the water and I looked down. And what I saw was the most magic I've ever seen. It was so incredibly beautiful. It was so full of color. It was kind of like I have the memory of looking into the water and seeing an entirely new world that you would never know existed unless you put your head in the water and looked down. And I wasn't even diving down deep in the water. I literally just put my head in and looked and went, holy shit, that exists? It was magic. It blew me away. It reminds me of like The Little Mermaid. And I haven't seen the new Little Mermaid, so I'm just remembering it from when I was a kid. But when you go under the water and you've got this whole universe, that's literally what is there. And when I put my head in the water and I saw that, it caught my attention and brought me into such incredible presence that all of a sudden I was calm. And it was in that moment that I felt and then recognized how I was feeling and how calm I was feeling and how I was floating on the top of the water without a life jacket. I was just doing it on my own. And there was no panic and there was no stress. And it was just presence and peace and incredible gratitude and appreciation for what I was witnessing. It was really, really beautiful. And that just really taught me about the importance of finding that peace in that present moment. And that's what you want to achieve when you're in the breath hold. You want to be present. And it's only 7 seconds, but it can be a magical 7 seconds if you let it. So when you get to this breath practice today, see how present you can be in that 7 seconds. See what's there for you. See what's there to witness. See what beauty you can experience, peace, and of course, presence. All right. So that's all I'm going to say about the practice today. The rest will be delivered to you in the recording. But before we go to the recording, I want to just give you a few quick reminders about what it is that I do and how I'd love for you to come join me in those offerings that I have. The first one that I'm super proud of is called the Ho'oponopono Breathwork Program. It's a 4-week program and you do 1 breathwork practice a week. And then there are videos, so it's a course. So there are videos accompanying each of the weeks to explain the practice. And yeah, some extra details in there as well. Now, the Ho'oponopono, if you're not familiar with it, is this beautiful Hawaiian prayer. And it goes like this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So each of the breath practices that I've created are built around that mantra or that part of the prayer. So the first one, I'm sorry, is to do with repentance. The second one, please forgive me, is to do with forgiveness. The third, thank you, is built around gratitude. And the fourth, I love you, is built around love. And I don't know why I felt so compelled to create this. I did the Ho'oponopono for 30 days straight myself, and I had such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful feelings, such beautiful experiences, such beautiful releases. And I really felt the transformation just in those short 30 days. And each day that I sat and I said that beautiful prayer, it just filled me with a lot of light and a lot of love. And also things came up for me as I was saying those words, and they came up to be released. So I thought I'd go deeper in this practice by creating a breathwork around each one individually, so you can go deep into the I'm sorry, into the repentance. You can go deep into the forgiveness, deep into the gratitude, and deep into the love. As you can imagine, one builds on the other, builds on the other, builds on the other. And it's the sort of thing, once you've purchased it, you've got it for life. So it's the sort of thing you can revisit. You do all 4 of them. I recommend that you do all 4 in a row before you repeat them. But yeah, if you do all 4, you can then go back a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year later when you're like, oh, I've got some more stuff I need to let go of, some things I need to forgive here. Or if that's the case, you can go back to individually and do one by one, because one is focused around forgiveness. So if you had a situation where you're like, I really need to let go, I really need to forgive this person and forgive myself, so I'm just going to do this one single practice. It would be really great to be able to just have that, right? So I've created that for you. Now, in each breathwork practice, I like to use affirmations a lot, or mantras if you call them mantras. And I like to use these because when we're breathing, we're putting ourselves into a particular state, a brainwave state. We're dropping first into alpha, then we go into theta. We might stay in theta. If we really like release a lot of DMT or whatever, we might find ourselves going into gamma. But in these particular states, particularly in theta and alpha, we're really suggestible. Alpha is one of the key suggestible states. It's the state we find ourselves in when we're glued to the TV, for example. You know how someone's watching a football match or something and you're trying to get their attention and they just don't hear you at all? It's because they're in alpha and they're being consumed by the world that they're in alpha. And it's why advertisements work so well, because we're highly suggestible in those states. So what I'm doing in the breathwork practice is introducing and saying affirmations. So even if you don't hear them, because maybe you're focused on the fact that you're crying and releasing all this emotion from a memory that came up or something that had to be released in you, the affirmation will still be heard by your subconscious. So it'll still be being absorbed into your system, into your brain. And the affirmations are all really beautiful, really positive, really uplifting, really all in the name of your transformation to that highest state. So I really am so proud of having created these, and I really know that you're going to love them. It's $144. That's the energy exchange. So if you'd love to make that exchange with me, please see the link in the show notes below and you'll be able to access that program. The people who have done it have had wonderful experiences. So I hope that more people will find the program because, like I said, I made it with a lot of love and I know it's great. So I hope you experience that greatness for yourself. The other way to work with me is one-on-one. So I've sort of redesigned or reconfigured my one-on-one program this year and I've retitled it, and it's now called Who Do You Want to Be? Because I think we're living in a world, in a situation now where we really have to figure that out. What do we want? Who do we want to be? I'm going through it alongside you. Everybody is going through it and asking themselves this question all the time. So let's get to the bottom of it together. The program's 8 weeks. Of course, you're going to be breathing, right? Breathwork is really paramount when it comes to transformation because it just brings up so much and it just moves so much energy. And we are layers upon layers upon layers of stuck energy and trauma and all of the crap, right? Ancestral, this life, a past life, whatever. So we got to move it. And breathwork is really powerful at achieving that. So we're going to do breathwork every week for 8 weeks. And we're going to work through the other stuff together as well. I'm going to be there to support you. That question of who do you want to be is one we're going to keep asking, and how we take those steps to get there. What you can do every day to get just a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Okay. How to get from where you are now to where you want to be. That's the aim. And I'll be there for you. I'll support you on Voxer. Yeah, whenever you need me, I'll be on Voxer. You'll also get access to additional recordings, practices, and all of the things that I create for you. And the energetic exchange on that one is $1,999. But there is also now a payment plan of 4 monthly payments. I think it's like $250. 250 by 4 equals 2,000. So it's $1 more for the 4 monthly payments, if that makes it easier for you. So working one-on-one with me is really in the name of super transformation. I really want to be there for you, and I really want to witness that transformation in you. So if you're keen, click on the link below and you can jump straight in, or you can click on the link and have a discovery call with me. And we'll just go into a little bit more detail and just make sure we're the right fit for one another and that you really are ready to take this step forward into your future. And for those people who are listening who have never tried breathwork, I would love for you to come join my monthly sessions. At the time of this recording, it's January of 2024. January's monthly breathwork has already taken place, so the next one will be in February. If you click on the link in the show notes, you will see all the dates right there. You can sign up whenever you want, even 30 minutes before. Best thing to do is to get on my mailing list, because then I'll send you email reminders and obviously all the links as well. So jump on the email list, get in there so that you don't have to put it in your calendar and remember when the next one is. And then you'll also get the recording. So if you join, I will also send you the recording. Okay. That's all from me today. Thank you for listening. I know that you're going to love today's breath practice. It's a real quick one, so enjoy it. Spend time in that pause. Enjoy the exhale. Enjoy the feeling of that deep relaxation, and much love to you. Today we are doing a breath called the 4-7-8. And this breath is one that was popularized by this guy called Andrew Weil, a doctor, I believe. Although it was popularized by this man, I think that most breath practices, we could say, have a very long history, including this one, that people have been breathing consciously for a very long time. So I suspect this might even go back to the yogic pranayama practices. Now, like most of the breathwork practices I share with you, this one will also help you to really calm down. So we're calming the mind. We're reducing levels of stress and anxiety. This practice is said to also be really beneficial if you suffer from insomnia. So a lot of people will do this as they're laying in bed trying to get to sleep. I suspect it probably has something to do with the fact that it really does help you to calm everything right down. This practice will also help you to regulate your nervous system, like any conscious breathwork practice will do. The more you repeat something over and over again, the more you put that effort into it and make it part of your daily practice, the more you will feel the impacts on your nervous system. With any of these practices that you choose, it doesn't matter which one you do, I really recommend that you implement something into your day rather than waiting until that point where you're feeling so overwhelmed and so stressed, where your bucket of stress is overflowing and you have nothing to give anyone and you have to stop and breathe. Don't let things go to that point. Try to implement a practice where you can do this every day to avoid feeling that way. I really encourage you to do that if you are willing and able. So for this 4-7-8 practice, I would like you to sit down. Some people have experienced lightheadedness with this one just because of the pattern of the breath. I recommend you do this practice twice a day, once in the morning, and then when you're in bed going to sleep at night, just to really help you decompress and fall asleep. The practice is going to be an inhale through the nose and an exhale out the mouth. We'll do this for 5 minutes in total, and I will play a tone that you can follow along with. And of course, If you are doing this in bed at night, you can either play this track or put some headphones in and listen to it if you've got someone else you don't want to disturb in the room, or you can do it counting by yourself. Very simple. So just quickly to break down this practice for you, as I said, it's called a 4-7-8 breath. That means we inhale for 4, we hold the breath for 7, we exhale for 8, we repeat. So there's no pause in between. It's inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, 5 minutes repeated like that. Okay. That's why it's important to sit down or lie down when you do this in case you do experience some lightheadedness. A little bit more detail about those specific numbers. So the first count is 4, being intentional when it comes to calming our mind. And so when we're doing that, we want to have a shorter inhale and a longer exhale. The inhale is activating our sympathetic nervous system. So we don't want to be spending too much time on our inhale. We want to be lengthening the exhale, which is going to bring us right down into that state of calm. Then we move into a count of 7, and this is a breath hold. So we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold. So it's quite a long breath hold, and it's really going to allow you to find stillness, find calm, find presence, find the quiet. And it's going to be beautiful when you do this in bed as you're trying to sleep, because you'll really be able to let everything go, all of the muscles, everything, and that breath hold will be super easy for you to do. Even if you're sitting up, it will still be easy. If you're finding that it's too hard to hold your breath for that period of time, just keep going. Just keep moving through the rounds as best as you can. And eventually, as your body sort of settles into the breath, you'll just naturally find that you can hold your breath for 7 counts. So we've got breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and then the final step is an exhale for a count of 8. Now, as I mentioned before, the exhale is double the inhale. So we are really engaging the parasympathetic nervous system by having a really long exhale. This is our rest and digest system. So it's going to be really helping us to relax, to calm, to switch off, which is why it is beautiful before you go to sleep. When you're ready, sit down somewhere, get comfortable, or lay down, and let's begin our 4-7-8 breath practice. Remember, we're breathing in through the nose, we're exhaling out the mouth. So once you're comfortable, sitting down or lying down, blink your eyes closed, start breathing in and out through the nose and just settling your body. Getting as comfortable as you can. Take a few clearing breaths to begin. So breathing in the nose and out the mouth. As you exhale, just let everything go, all the muscles, all the tension in the body. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go. 1 more time. Breathing in the nose. And let it go out the mouth. Settle everything down. And now let's begin the 4-7-8 breath. In, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mouth exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. Now just releasing the breath. The inhale should always be through the nose, but you can exhale still out the mouth if you like. And if you're in bed and ready for sleep, if you haven't already, put your phone on airplane mode. And then you can drift off to sleep. But if you are continuing the rest of your day You can slowly blink your eyes open. Notice how you're feeling. Know that you can come back to this practice on your own or with this recording whenever you need. Keep doing it every day. Keep practicing. Thank you so much for breathing with me this week. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Much love.